All right, the second thing I want to discuss and present to you is discussion of electricity or the lack of electricity disruption. And make it clear that I and the staff have been in almost constant contact since the storm that was coming and then in the recent events with CenterPoint, asking them what's going on. We are planning on having a meeting next week, I and CenterPoint, when they have all their paperwork and documentation together so that we can figure out what happened, when, and why. What we know at this moment, and we're going to go back the last 3 events that have occurred. One was the latter part of last week, and the outage took place in the 4400 block of South Main. And the reports from people who said they saw what happened, that a little white car caused the line to come down. After checking the scene, there's no damage of white headlights, bumpers, nothing. So the analysis, somebody please mute. The analysis is that something tall had to tear the line down because there was a live wire laying on the ground sparking, and Chief Ramirez can correct me wherever I go wrong. So that was not CenterPoint's problem. Something else happened. Yesterday, the first time that power went out, and coincidentally all of these were in a very close proximity on South Main, a sleeve that splices the lines together separated and the lines fell. Now, what caused the separation is still being looked at, whether something bumped it again or it just fell apart or whatever. The one we're absolutely positive of, the one that happened yesterday afternoon, is a dump truck. I presume the bed was up, and if you see them leaving construction sites, they take off and then they start lowering the bed. It brought down the power line and Comcast line. So definitely 2 of these had nothing to do with the power company, and there's a 50-50 chance that the other one had nothing to do with the power company. And I understand and appreciate everyone's frustration, but I would just ask you this. When you call City Hall, these ladies that answer the phone cannot get your power turned on. Just remember that. They're trying to identify, take requests, so there's no need to yell at the ladies answering the phone at City Hall because they can't get your power on. We're here to help you, but just a little understanding because they are trying to do their best to listen and record what you're saying. Now, with that said, and I'm going to ask learned legal counsel to fill in any legalese where I might leave out. But I want to start because it's important we understand facts, what government can do and can't do. Just because you're a legal government, there's some things you can do and can't do. With the deregulation of the electric industry in Texas, the city of Stafford has one provider for poles and infrastructure, CenterPoint. The wires and the poles for electricity providers in Stafford is providing solely and exclusively by CenterPoint. The city of Stafford is located in the Houston region. Rates for the wires and poles go through the rate-making procedure at the Public Utility Commission in Austin. That's what the state legislature passed and deemed how it works. The city has almost no power to affect rates and or service outside of the rate-making process. Second part of that is rates and request they upgrade infrastructure, which they do by increasing rates. We can track the outages and demand better services. They will do a study and then raise rates unless plan was already on board with funding to do it. But otherwise, did I leave any legal thing out?
No, sir.
So I understand your frustration. Eons ago, and I even forget the name of the hurricane, thank God, I was without power for 13 days. And at the height, what was reported to me, it was either 21 or 23 in the entire city of Stafford were out of our 9,100. At the same time, I'm watching TV, 344,000 without power. So it's never good when you're without power, but we will endeavor to talk to them and find out what the root causes may be. I and this city are not opposed to telling somebody whether they're doing the good, bad, and ugly. But first thing we need to identify is what was the problem. A dump truck tearing a line down on a construction site is not CenterPoint's problem, pure and simple. So that's where we are, and when we get more details, we'll let everyone know.